Welcome to Make a Path Presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk The Walking Dead TV show Q&A 67. What is going on with Maggie's hair? Alright, we got a couple questions talking about Maggie's hair. I did want to do a video on this about how, Maggie got a haircut because she dies at the hand of Negan at the end of season 6. It's officially confirmed now, so that's like a mind blow. Oh, spoilers, by the way. I'm just messing with you. How many of you thought that was real? Just a couple? Okay, moving on. Listen, before we get to the questions, I'll just say that, a lot of people see things like, oh, they're in a new movie, or they're doing this, or they did a commercial, or they got a haircut, and immediately people go to dying. Let's just think about this, from a logical standpoint. Alright, first off, Maggie had shorter hair when she was first introduced in season 2, so that means that, or at least I get the feeling that naturally she likes her hair shorter as the character. So it makes sense now that her hair is getting longer and in the way and everything like that, and they're in a place like Alexandria. It makes sense that, she's like, finally, let's chop it off. Also, we do have to understand that with the character, it harkens back, or it calls back to the comic book, because at this point in time in the comic, the character shaved her head in the prison, but when she got to Alexandria, her hair was a certain length. It grew in a little bit, and it looks a lot similar to the haircut that Maggie got. And they posted the pictures of Maggie, the actress Lauren, they posted her pictures, a month after they stopped filming. But if you read the articles, the pictures are from the wrap party, which means she had this haircut at least, the last filming episode or two, or at least the last episode, or immediately following filming it. So I'm betting she gets this haircut at the end of season 6. So let's jump right into some of the questions here. Newen Pace. Do you think that somehow they may fit in a time skip into the second half of the season? Yeah, I do believe there's going to be a time skip. I do not believe it's going to be a big one, because they already established they're running out of supplies. And that's going to be a part of the story focusing on the Hilltop, so therefore they can't have a massive time skip, because then it's going to really screw up the supply thing, because by that time they need to figure out something for food, the supplies. You said Lauren Cohan cut her hair, and I can't see her doing that in the situation the survivors are at the moment. Like I said, Maggie prefers short hair to begin with, so you also don't think Maggie's gonna die, so you think maybe there's a time skip. It will give them time to rebuild Alexandria before the Saviors. Yeah, there's gonna be a time skip, not a big one, but I do believe this is more along the lines of the character wanting shorter hair. We can even come up with a simple situation where in fighting in No Way Out, she might get grabbed by her hair, a close call, someone helps her, and she's like, I'm going in warrior mode, chopping off my hair. I'd be completely fine with that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Dylan Voorhee, do you think Glenn has the potential to lead the Hilltop? Yeah, I've already covered this. Yes, I do believe he has it in him. I don't know if he's going to get there, but... God's Exotic. Do you like comic Glenn more or TV Glenn? I have to go with comic Glenn. He just feels more fleshed out. His arc is developed more. His character and the actor is just awesome. It's hard to not love Steven, He's an awesome guy. At least he got a good charisma to him, Mr. Quarter Cent. Which character do you believe has a better chance of getting Lucille, either Glenn or Daryl? I think Glenn. If you left me either one or the other, part of me still believes that AMC is afraid a little bit to kill off Daryl. However, it's either kill off Daryl with Negan or do it in all-out war. If they go on past that, I feel like they pretty much lost their moment to kill him, Where it would be the most impactful, I'm saying. Bob John, does the Rick and Daryl episode foreshadow Dixon's death? Yeah, they're supposed to. I think Greg Nicotero said that they're going to do an episode with Rick and Daryl, like a bottle episode. I personally do not believe, I didn't hear that and think that it foreshadows his death. Hell, we don't even know what's happening, so it's technically impossible to foreshadow his death, because we need to see something that, again, foreshadowed the death, Like Beth, wearing the hat foreshadowed she would die. You need something there. You need imagery in order to foreshadow. So I think it's very possible they could have that bottle episode in there to give us more Daryl, something impactfful with Rick before he goes and dies after that. So yeah, I do believe it's possible. I disagree on the foreshadowing. You get what I mean, though. I'm just teasing. Tyler Darr. How will they introduce Jesus in the show? I want to do it with a perimeter check. I want to do it after rebuilding. You know, they know about the Saviors because of Abraham and them, and they start doing perimeter checks, scoping out the area. And I want to keep the Jesus introduction as close to the comic book as possible because I do not believe that's a big spoiler. They announced his casting. They came right out and showed us. They announced it and made it official, so therefore it's not going to hurt by doing the same thing. We already know he's coming. It doesn't make sense to surprise us. You know what I'm saying? If they announced it, keep it the same. He's watching them, and, you know, Michonne and Abraham are doing a perimeter check. Michonne is talking about her life because of what Deanna said. That would fit the comic. That would bring the comic story to life a lot better. Yeah, because Deanna was telling her to go get something for you to make you happy. And in the comic, Michonne was talking about being alone and yada, yada, yada. So that would fit that better. And Abraham could be talking to Michonne about the Rosita-Sasha situation. And because Michonne, they can have some back and forth. And then we get Jesus. They think Jesus is a part of the Saviors that stopped Abraham, Daryl, and Sasha on the road. Rick comes out, knocks him out because they told Rick about this. And then therefore they go running off, just like the comic book, looking for Jesus' men. They don't find him. They decide to believe him. Da-da-da-da-da. There you go. Pukey. Do you think Daryl and Carol could replace Glenn and Maggie in issue 100? This is Glenn's comic death in front of Negan. I do think they could, but tweaked in some way, because I don't think it works if they did that identical. It would have to be tweaked. But I will say right now, Melissa McBride would be the perfect candidate to show, you know, just emotionally crushed watching this happen. And I do hope they tie them up or something, or like each person is being held by an individual and threatened, because just sitting, kneeling on the ground, I don't know. We'll get into that in another time. Yeah, I do think Melissa McBride would be perfect in that scenario. As far as showing us how, you know, heartbroken it is, because she would be the perfect reflection of how heartbroken the audience is, the Daryl fans. I think that would just be perfect. Bakerson Entertainment. Do you think The Walking Dead will have a 2-year break after All Out War? You know what? No, that's not how TV works. If there's a 2-year time skip on TV, they just pretend. They don't actually take 2-year break, you know? Take a 2-year break. Isaac Rich. Where is Mikey and Eric? Fuck if I know. Sorry if you have kids watching this. I apologize. I don't believe in curses, though, so I will let you know why I don't believe in there, and I bet you a lot of you will agree. Curses are ridiculous, but I'll let you know in a different video, in a vlog video. Armando Penici. Did I do that right? Or say that right? Who do you think needs more focus in the story? Ooh, that's a good one. Who needs more focus? Hey, listen, I'll put this out here. I don't like Rosita in the comic. Don't really like her on the show. I just think it's a character that's not really essential. It doesn't do it for me. If we get her more focus, I might like her more. Others might like her more. Right now, it feels like characters like Rosita, it feels like it's cheap. Because it's like, hey, look it. We throw her in here. A lot of guys like her because she's eye candy, you know, but I want something more than that. I want her to have an awesome story as well. So it would be nice to give Rosita more time. And that even shocked me saying, because I was never a Rosita fan, either comic or show, but I think that's because we just haven't really got much there to get behind, you know? You know, if it's not Rosita, I'm going to have to go with Father Gabriel as well. And that's because we got such an awesome actor, and I want him to really bring that character forward and make something really amazing out of something that was just okay in the comic. You know what, looking at the time, let's do a couple more. Let's Talk Dead. Do you think that Judith will cry during the walk? No. You know what? We already got Sammy crying, and to add the baby would be overkill. Shit's already hitting the fan. Cedric Adams. Hey Ronnie, huge fan, been following you for about 2 years. Anyways, on to the question, do you think Lori getting a different death on the show Do you think it's possible Maggie could receive her death? What are your thoughts on that possibility? You know what? I think anything's possible. However, I would have to look at why. Why in the hell would they take a comic book story from Maggie being pregnant? That was in the comic book, all of that. Why would they take that, build it up just like it was in the comic, to build it up to a dead end by saying, hey, we built this up, boom, baby's dead, we just gave you Laurie's comic death. I mean, I just don't see the logic in that. I don't see creative logic. I don't see where this story would go. It wouldn't push the story forward. It would be the definition of fan service, in my opinion. But the biggest thing that says, hell no, that's never going to happen, is we have to realize as fans that if they stick with the comic book and they do have a small time skip, in 6B, if there is a small time skip, it's only going to be a few weeks, maybe a month. Then when Negan appears from 6 to 7 to 8, we're only going to most likely cover a few months, and by the end of season 8, Maggie should be showing. And I know that might sound ridiculous because it's like, well, how many seasons can we go where she is pregnant? I don't see them skipping more time than that. I just don't know why they would. Now, if they want to skip more time and have Maggie more pregnant during All Out War, that's okay, but then it might take away from some of her role in All Out War. But I just want to let you guys know, she's not going to become pregnant in season 6. At least I feel they're not going to do that big of a time skip. So she most likely will be pregnant still, all through 7 and 8 at least. 6, 7, and maybe 8. Yeah, what the hell, I'm going all in on that. SS the General. Would you like to see an open world Walking Dead game set in the comic universe around the same location as Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, the Foundry, where the Saviors are, the Factory, I mean? It would, of course, you'd have it like all out. Listen, you put a whole bunch in here. Yes, I would absolutely love an open world Walking Dead game. I don't even need to go into specifics. If you make it like, Fallout or Grand Theft Auto where it's open world, yeah, I'm down. But it has to be, it has to have that some horror element to it. It has to. Next, Unguardable Baller. Who is your favorite character on the show? Rick. Rick is still my favorite character on the show. Listen, directions in the description. I gotta go make more Walking Dead videos. If you have any thoughts or opinions that are different from mine about these topics, feel free to put them in the comment box, and go ahead and thumb up other comments so I know those are the questions you guys want answered. Sneak attack, surprise ending.
Subscribe now.